Eternal grant them, O Lord, and let light perpetual shine upon them. May they rest in peace and rise in glory. Amen. And they did a very, very difficult job. And in my book, actually, the British Armed Forces are the best in the world. These are real professional soldiers. They're not just doing a job out there to be forgotten, but actually to be remembered. And the families then that are here, we need to do more practical stuff. Is that here at Bishop Thorpe Palace, we actually pray regularly for the soldiers out in Afghanistan. And in that chapel, we've got the medical corps who are there at the moment. And they're sort of plaque, we pray for them and remember them on a daily basis. So when a tragedy like this happens, we've been praying for their safety. Your hearts a little bit stops and say, what's this going on here? But then like them, you've got to get up and rise again. So for the families, we're going to pray for them. And for the sick, really, we want to hold them up in our prayer. The two things that comfort me is that the war in there is not a decision and a choice by the British government alone. It was the mandate of the United Nations. So they're doing it on behalf of all the nations of the world. At this particular point in time, we've lost 6 soldiers, and that's really a big tragedy. But they're not just doing it for a nation. It's a United Nations mandate in order to make the world a much better. The United Nations still says to the nations of the world, not just to Britain, we need to defend the globe together. And in that coalition, let's not be the weak link in the process. Churchman is continuously pray for them, praise for their safety, make sure the equipment they've got is up to scratch, make sure the families at home are being supported and looked after properly. I'd like to see a very clear description of what is going to happen. You see, we are not there in the end to try and create a civil government. That's not the job. The job is to make sure that Al-Qaeda and make sure that the Taliban, who oppress them. I have been to Afghanistan in 2004, and the amazing thing is, when they closed schools for girls, underground, there were girls' schools taking place, and underground I encountered about 20 young women training to be doctors. The story was they were out there to do some knitting and learn some cookery classes in Herat, but actually were being trained. The fact that now this is all open and women can have their education, because that's the only way they're going to be liberated and liberate the nation, I think it's not a bad thing.